Hello, my name is Kirk Myers. I'm here to welcome you to open house at Jefferson Junior High. This is the seventh grade math. I am your student's math teacher this semester. If you didn't get a pamphlet on your way in, I'll pass them around. Please take some. This pamphlet contains important information. So please take one. Feel free. I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. I was a sheet metal worker for 22 years. I was injured on the job and decided to make education my next profession. I graduated from Benedictine University in 2015. I have 3 children. 2 are going to college, and one's a sophomore at Henslow South High School. I have always been involved in their life. I've coached their basketball teams, baseball teams, soccer teams, was involved in the local swim club, and I've also served time in the Indian Guides for 10 years or so. It's quite a long time. Enjoyed it immensely. Love to see young people grow with confidence. It's just a passion. So this profession actually, I think, fits me quite well. On to a little bit about my education philosophy. You can't just rely on one philosophy. There must be a broad spectrum, and some of them align to themselves. But my main philosophy is successful intelligence. Now this aligns with constructionism and Howard Gardner's modes of intelligence. But what successful intelligence is, it has 3 different phases. One is the students must apply their knowledge. They need to create knowledge, and they need to analyze knowledge. It's not only knowledge, conceptual knowledge and procedural knowledge. Okay. For instance, this semester, I have a project for the students to do. It's a project called Spark Lights. It's a fictitious company that I set up. What the students will have to do is they'll have to crunch numbers. They have to pretend and imagine that they're the owners of this company. And the dilemma is the employees want raises. It's up to the owner to decide if they get raises and how much, based on the way they crunch their numbers. It's a real life situation that involves math. But to get to that first, the students need to learn how to add and subtract fractions. They need to learn how to turn a fraction into a decimal, and then take that decimal and turn it into a percentage. Right? Now, if students learn fractions, decimals, and percentages at the same time, there's some correlation there. They can build on one another. All right? It's scaffolding. You're building building blocks up of knowledge for your students and for your children to learn. All right? There's going to be 3 presentations. It could be either a YouTube presentation, an oral presentation using a PowerPoint slide, an iMovie, whatever they prefer, whatever kind of medium they prefer, it's up to them. My main focus is for them to be creative, right? And they're not going to get judged on their creative. A little bit, but nothing outrageously crazy. We'll talk about grades later on. But every little thing that they do needs to be measured. There has to be some importance to it. That's how we motivate them. That's how everybody is motivated. There has to be some type of reason for people to do something. Okay, so everything that I do in here, in this classroom, has a purpose. The other thing that I like to align with successful intelligence is social emotional learning. This is very, very, very important aspect in students' development. Without it, their academic background will only go so far. It's based on research. You need social emotional learning in a school environment for students to be successful in life. That being said, we'll talk a little bit about homework. Most nights, your students will have homework. Okay, not much, maybe 20 to 30 minutes a night. Okay, except for maybe after tests, before tests, and right after tests. Okay, but otherwise, they're going to have to do their homework. Every time they come into the classroom, there will be a procedure. There'll be a group of students that I have, and each student will have a chance to answer questions from the other students. Whatever, if say your student comes into class, doesn't understand this one problem, that person could put that question up on the board before class starts and right after class starts. I'll be checking homework. They need to do this. There'll be about 4 or 5 other students that will go to the board and try to attempt to solve this problem. This is called cooperative learning. It also is a little bit of social emotional learning also. It's okay not to know, but they need to get over that. They need to say, okay, we might not understand this, but let's go here and let's find out where we're stuck at, and we'll correct it. Those are my intentions. The other thing is, sometimes what I'll do is, since students have a difficult time with word problems, I might assign, like a flipped class room assignment. I'll have them say, let's say, oh, go home tonight and make a word problem by adding fractions together. Doesn't matter what it is. Go home and do it. This is part of successful intelligence also, because they're going to have to create, right? And if they create this word problem, they'll have a better idea of, when they look at word problems, what they're looking at. When they come in the next morning with their word problem, what we'll do is I'll have them crumble it up in a little ball, throw it around the room. Every student has to grab a crumpled piece of paper, undo it, and complete the first step. Well, the first step in a word problem is trying to find variables. So that will be the first step. That first student that picks up that paper will have to determine what the variable in that problem is. And they'll crumple it up again, throw it again, okay? There's 4 steps. So this will go on for a little bit. And what will happen is the next person that gets the paper will go over the other person's work, correct it, hand it back to that person that made the mistake, and continue on, okay, until they solve the 4-step process of solving word problems. that will be, that also aligns with cooperative learning, which is, like I said before, it's huge, it's huge. Face it, students learn by their peers more than they do adults. And if they can get to teach each other, that they'll retain it. It's proven fact, it's based on research, that they will retain what they've learned. Okay, now before we don't have much more time here, I want to talk a little bit about the grades. Grades, everything has to have a value. If you don't have a value, then people are not going to be motivated to do it. So, if you look on this pamphlet, I have the grades written out here. Tests are worth 25, quizzes are 15, homework is 25, projects are 20, and class participation is 15. Everything has to have a purpose. Okay. Now, the other thing is in this pamphlet, my website is on here, my personal website. On this personal website, there's quite a bit of information here. There's the Common Core standards, math standards are on here. There's math websites for additional instruction are in here. Homework assignments will be posted to this website. So if you want to know what your kid's homework assignment is, go to my website. It'll be on there. Okay. The other thing is, I want to mention, if your kid is struggling, let me know. I'll keep an eye on it too, but if they need additional instruction or help, I will be available before or after school. Just give me, 1 or 2 days notice and I'll make myself available. That being said, I thank you again for coming tonight. I look forward to this semester, and let's just have fun. Thanks for coming.